Dominion Voting Systems has sued Mike Lindell.
Oh, yes.
Individually and also
am suing.
Sued, excuse me, My Pillow, the company, $1.3 billion. You're in the war room. It's the 46th day of the occupation, live from occupied Washington, D.C., where troops.
The occupation. This is his version of Brian Williams' countdown of the Trump administration.
Are going to stay here through the fall unless the Republican Party, gets on top of things and forces the hands of the Democrats to get them out. It's Monday.
No, they're staying till the end of March because of the March 4th assholes.
The 22nd of
and you know that.
February, the year of our Lord 2021. I want to go immediately now to Mike Lindell. Mike, thank you very much.
Mike, you look great. You sound great. You got your cross out and your tie off. You're now in front of a curtain. That's a big change for him. He's usually calling us from the lobby of a nail salon or a nondescript room in his well-fortified and pampered bunker.
Thank you very much. I know it's been crazy since this lawsuit got filed this morning. You've been taking media incoming nonstop. And my co-host Raheem's going to jump in. He's got some questions too and some analysis.
Yeah, they're going to be great. Some analysis
of the suit.
Yeah.
But hundreds of pages long, right? Very detailed. Goes back. I want to talk. The War Room Posse is a part of their supporting character, like a Greek chorus in this often, because the reason is they've gone into our hashtag War Room Pandemic. They've also gone into the live chat. And what they're saying is that, and that's just one of literally hundreds of citations in here, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's pretty thorough.
Actually quite small. But if I can boil this down, the whole lawsuit, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike Lindell, they say, hey, Lindell's a very smart guy. Don't be distracted by, he tries to come across as a rube, just an all shucks guy.
Yeah, he's not, he's really, this is fifth level chess.
Guy from Minnesota,
This is Spock chess.
Just some guy that's had problems and, found Christ and changed his life. But he's a card counter. He made his money years for that. He's a gambler. He's brilliant mathematically. He knows really math, and everything he does is regarding math, and that's how he was a card
money, not math, money
counter and a big-time gambler and all that before he started the pillow business. And that this entire thing,
by the way, can I say for the record, you guys were with me when we were watching this, and we all found out together, watching Mike Lindell, that he formed My Pillow, then became a crack addict, then found Jesus, and went back to just doing My Pillow. The title of his book is From Crackhead to CEO or whatever. What are the odds? But the reality was he went from CEO to crackhead to CEO, and basically he's a maintenance addict, is what we've learned.
This entire
he's a professional carpet farmer.
Effort post November 3rd to go around the country, to go on media, to make movies, to have interviews, to do all this.
Movie. And singular plus citation needed.
This is just
a 2-hour ramble in front of a set he got from a local college.
A total scam. Because what he's really doing is driving the profitability of his pillows by taking these innocent deplorables and these people that really are, are kind of
suckers, rubes, idiots, maggots, Trumpsters, people, who will literally, if they think something's being canceled, they'll buy twice as many.
I'm mesmerized by his leadership and mesmerized by his charisma.
Now he's being sarcastic. That's just rude.
This is a money-making scam. And in fact, this whole thing is all of his baseless attacks, his no evidence attacks upon Dominion voting system is because this is a well thought through plan by a very brilliant guy to essentially make more money. What do you say to that, Mr. Lindell?
It's almost comical that they put that in there, that's my motivation. I have done all my life, and they can go back in time. If something's
they can go back in time. Time travel is possible.
Wrong, and if it's morally wrong, I don't care if I'm 100% right. I'm not going to back down. I don't care how much money it costs me. In this particular thing, I have not asked for anybody for any money. I have over $3 million.
Dude, every single, like, he's basically the funding behind Newsmax and Right Side. Everything's an ad. Like, all of his bus tour bullshit leading up to the 6th, they were constantly doing promo codes and selling these things and saying the left's trying to cancel him and all this stuff. I mean, I don't buy the idea that he's some sort of masterful Machiavellian businessman, but he's definitely an opportunistic person.
$1 million of my own money, putting it out there to gather evidence, to do everything I can.
To make it a commercial because you thought you'd be on the winning side of an economic win by befriending Donald Trump, getting your pillows in all of his hotels.
It's November 4th. And it is because of, I guess, of my mathematical, God bless me with the mind, that I've seen all these deviations, and I dove into it myself.
Wait, so God blessed you with a mind for math, but crack is the devil's fault?
I've lost over 20 box stores. Actually, it's exactly 20 right now. 20 retailers. I'm out there. I'm not able to see my grandkids and my nieces and nephews.
What does that have to do with anything? Do you normally charge to see your nieces and nephews?
Had to be out there. I've made so many sacrifices, including money. So for Dominion to say that, I mean, my recovery network has suffered. My reputation has suffered.
Yeah, but based on your behavior, you're still making money off of it, though. You've traded all that for money, is their argument.
Everything you can. And then this is what they got. You know, it's just amazing. It's like.
Yeah, I know. I'm with Mike Lindell in this. I do think that I sense a bit of sarcasm in the lawsuit itself.
Evil is good and good is evil. I mean, it's just all part.
Is that how they wrote it?
People see through that.
He blessed him with a mind for math, not so much reading comprehension.
But I think that's their defense. Steve, I just chewed out so many outlets this morning, and I have a list.
You chewed them out?
To call when I get out here. These guys did not call me from February 5th when I dropped the evidence on February 5th. Now, I want everyone out there to know, for almost 6 weeks, especially since January 9th when I got the first piece of, wow, this is the smoking.
The wow. Hold on one second. I should be.
Wow.
I mean, really.
Wow.
This is the kind of thing we're all really amazed, I can tell you. All right.
Gun evidence I've been looking for. Well, when we got that, it's been an attack every day from morning till night leading up to February 5th. They would call me up and they go, Mike, you say you have this and you lost your Twitter account. And I'd say Dominion fraud, machine fraud, Smartmatic, let's be fair. And I'm pounding this out there because I had 100% of this evidence.
No, you don't. We went through this. You're a lunatic. They gave you a chance for somebody to walk you through it, and you didn't. You just kept doubling down, not because you have a mind for math or you found this evidence. You were sold this by people.
They mocked me on late night talk show hosts.
Yeah, on the late night talk show hosts.
Jimmy Kimmel mocked me. Saturday Night Live.
Hal Sparks, probably the best one, honestly.
All the news outlets from the New
York
Times on down, they print stuff that I'm just a fraud, a fake, a phony. And then I said,
no, not just that. Some of us think you're a lunatic.
You guys just wait till February.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel.
5th.
He's Jimmy Kimmel. He's the son of the guy in The Fugitive.
I'll show you. I'll put my money.
He hosts a late night talk show on the run for a crime he didn't commit.
Where my mouth is. February 5th, it comes out. This absolute proof, which, by the way, is on LindellTV.com now, so they can't take it down. So absolute proof comes out, and it's crickets. I told him this morning, you guys don't call, you don't write. So I have been pushing Dominion. I've had left-wing. I've had left-wing media, the Daily Beast. I said, will you go tell them to get their butts moving and let's get Dominion, get this lawsuit. My lawyers told me, Steve, don't file a lawsuit against them. So I wanted to so bad, and you know that. And I'm going, and they went, and my lawyer said, come on, maybe they'll sue you. And I said, so I antagonized, come on, sue me, Dominion. So they finally did. It's a beautiful day here for America. I want everybody to know that. This is a great
I'm excited.
day because the truth's going to come out. I don't care how long it takes and how much money it costs me.
Are you saying
All of it.
hang on, but hang on. You're saying it's a great day because now you're going to go into a federal court system where rules of evidence will apply, and you'll be able to make your case. They'll be able to make their case that you're a fraud, you're a scam, you did this to basically suck in a bunch of rubes to buy your overpriced pillows, right? And Giza sheets, right? And you did that knowing all the time that you had nothing. So you're
By the way, that's what Steve Bannon believes, for the record. Just saying. Like, he's pretending to be on Mike Pillow's side. Nah.
happy because now you think you've got a venue that's not the media. You got a venue that's the court system. Is that the purpose of you trying to draw this lawsuit to you?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can't wait for him to represent himself and stand up in front of the judge and try to enter in as evidence his absolute proof movie.
Well, there's a couple things. One is I already have all the evidence. I've had a team on a ground this whole week where we went and validated all the IP addresses and the IDs of the computers, both here and overseas, even in China. I mean, this has cost a lot of money. You'll get people out there and it's like,
dude, these guys are milking him for cash because he's a gullible idiot.
it's a lot of time, but we got that, that all validated.
And none of those people, by the way, are going to be sued in this. None of his staff. They're just going to make money off this idiot, and then he's going to be the one that goes into court and eats it.
You've had people in China, in mainland China, verifying the IP addresses.
The people they've gotten them. So either they've gotten them by calling people there and to validate these IP.
Yeah, they call some dudes that they know there. Dude, can you run a couple of IP addresses for me? Yeah, this one says it's an Alibaba website. Yeah. Oh, that's here. Oh, I see. That's an IP address here. All right, my bad. Thanks, man. 再见.
These IP address. So physically on the ground, I don't know that part.
No, I do. He doesn't have anybody on the ground in China looking up IP addresses in China.
I don't know that part. That's that part of.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know that. I'm just ready for a 1.3 bill. I was just sued for 1.3 billion dollars, and I have no idea if I have anyone actually in the country looking at these IP.
I'm not going to say anything that I 100% don't know.
But the point is.
Okay, absolute radio silence from Mike Pillow from this point on.
Is you're backing up even some of the assertions or these things have been in the movie or what you said.
Right,
out there continue to bring what would be in a court would rise to the level of evidence. Correct?
Right. So what? So yes, that's correct, Steve. Since I was last on your show, and everybody's seen absolute proof.
I've seen it. I've watched the whole thing. I watched all of it. I didn't like some of his friends tune out 2/3 of the way in. Oh, no.
He watched that. I got feedback, and they're going,
boy, did you.
Well, where did these come from? What did these numbers come from? How did they?
Mike, this looks like bullshit to me. That was just bullshit, Joel.
How do we know they're real? So now we did a deeper dive. And there's a few things I can't even tell you on the show here, but now, it's like I was 100% before, but now I don't care if you're a lawyer. If you're if you're one of the Supreme Court justices, you're going to go, this is amazing. What it is though is
Yeah, can you hear Steve going? But.
They asked me this morning, Steve. One of them asked me, Mike, now what are you going to do? You're going to get your defense lawyers, and when are you going to get all your evidence? I said, I'm already ready. I want to go to court tomorrow, Dominion. Come on, let's go.
So
yeah, it's a little more complicated than that, bro.
We're going to pursue this on the evidence side and how you want a quick trial. Let's go back to the media for a second.
But the question is,
Q snatch.
Media, because people have been all over the story from every major outlet, from the Guardian to BBC to the New York Times
to the Hal Sparks live stream. I mean, it's where the rubber hits the road in the real news area.
Wall Street Journal. You said the other day the Daily Beast reporter Swin, who we know, very good reporter. Is it accurate that he said he had not watched Absolute Proof? He had not actually seen the evidence that you report for it. The Daily Beast, more than any other outlet, has been on this story 24/7. That he had not actually watched the film and actually seen either the evidence or assertions, however you want to frame it.
Assertions.
You would put
flailing, poop smear on the wall assertions.
But had not even seen the basics.
I have. I'm ahead of the Daily Beast. There you go.
So that.
That's correct, and that's across the board too. There's all these reporters that call me; they haven't even watched it.
I need to call this dude. Apparently,
I'll take that back. I mean, there's a couple that have watched it, and
yeah, exactly, Cartman. I broke the whole goddamn thing down. Every single assertion, every single piece of evidence that he supposedly presents.
Because I'll start to shooing them out.
Okay, hang on. The ones that have watched it. Who are they, and have they come back and pressed you on the evidence or what you've put, however it's described? Dominion says it's complete phony opinion of Mike Lindell, who's crazy, and you're
right. Yeah, that would be my assessment as well.
You're saying it's hard evidence that these guys stole the election. There's a big gap between the bid and the ask, and that's what's going to find out in federal court, right? But the reporters that have actually,
yeah, that's Steve going, what you're saying sounds huge, and what you're backing it up with is bullshit.
Watched it. Just those. Have any of those come back and challenged you, questioned you, said, hey, I need to see more evidence, or have they agreed with you?
Every single one that's watched it agrees with me, but they won't print it. They won't print it in their...
I watched it, and I don't agree with you at all.
Newspapers, or they won't have...
I think I'm the only person who's gone through the whole thing piece by piece.
Me on their TV show.
And tomorrow I'm going to go through the shortened version.
The ones that sit there and call it false or whatever, and even the ones...
It's false or whatever. I would call it that. Mostly whatever. It's very whatever,
Wow.
Yeah. Seen it. It's like an automatic word you got to put in your articles. Unsubstantiated, unproven.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, you said it, and then you had to go get people to check the IP addresses. That means it was unproven.
Well, that at least watch the film, right? At least watch it, because what I tell them all, Steve, is this. I say, you guys should be concerned. This should be the biggest story in history. One of the things right now, I've been telling them all morning, why don't you all take your cameras down to Maricopa County in Arizona and find out why they won't let them look at the machines and audit them? And you know what one reporter said to me? They go, Mike, all this evidence has already been proven, debunked. I go, only 2 places in our country have they looked at the machines. Antrim County, Michigan, and Massachusetts in a primary with Dr. Shiva. Both of those, they have proved 100% that there was votes flipped. 7,000 out of 15,000 votes. And
by the way, the Antrim County ones, by his own assertion in his thing, the most logical draw you can come away with is that Antrim County was this time actually going for Biden. It had always gone Republican. Someone went, holy shit, Biden's going to win Antrim County. They went down there, messed with the vote, fixed it for Trump, and then erased all the evidence. The fix was in after the votes were flipped to Trump from Biden.
And those cases are going on strong.
No, they're not. It's complete horseshit. Dude, the biggest case he makes in this whole documentary, if you haven't had a chance to watch my takedown of it, is that Texas is the most corrupt election system in the country. They use ES&S and heart machines, and that the dude there went to both Austin, to the state government, and to the Department of Homeland Security, and the only area where they say they have evidence, and they don't, but whatever, that votes went overseas, were somehow counted over there and then burped back into the system, was in Texas, which Biden was winning in the polls, but ultimately lost by a substantial amount, which looks hinky as shit. And apparently, according to him, this has been going on for a long time. So when it looked like Beto was going to win, and all of a sudden Ted Cruz just kind of pulls it out, and everybody's like, well, it's Texas. It's a red state, so I guess that's how it goes. According to his own expert, the only evidence that they actually present that this dude, the guy who's like a dog with a bone with the biggest voter fraud problems that have, is ES&S machines in Texas. He was crazy about that whole thing. Even he brings up Dominion machines. They're like, is this like the Dominion machines? The guy's like, Dominion? It's like chump change. Dominion's in like 86 counties. Trump won most of them. But Texas is where the real shit is hitting the fan. Good God.
And just say, the Supreme Court doesn't want to look at it. All the counties don't want to even look at the evidence. But
it isn't evidence. It's blather.
Put the evidence out there, and everybody doesn't even put that.
Mike, we looked at it. It's blather. It's not their fault you're a moron. It's not their fault that someone sold you a computer demo. And like it was real, which is exactly what we watched.
Steve, it's been cricket since February 5th.
But
you know what I tell
hang on.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Slow down for 1 second. But in defense, the state Republican-controlled Senate in Arizona that was going to put the warrants out and going to arrest Maricopa County and going to get in there, they spit the bit. You had a vote flip, and as of right now, I checked on that early this morning. It's like, I think 15-15. It's tied at this committee level. So that's where it's Republicans, and it's a single Republican that's holding up, not allowed to go through the system. What do you say to that?
That's because if there was any theft in these machines, it benefited Trump. It didn't hurt him. And the Republicans don't want to get caught.
I say they got to him and they either threatened him or he got compromised. It's only one of the two. He was all in.
Oh, no. There's another option. I just presented that one. The other option is, and one of the reasons why Republicans like Brian Kemp and Raffensperger are saying, we don't want you to look at this shit, is not because there wasn't shenanigans. It's because they did everything they could to throw the election, and Biden still won because there was a blue tsunami. And everywhere it was close, it was only close because they were screwing around, narrowing the margin for Trump, giving him as many fake votes as they could. There's as much an argument for that in any of this bullshit as there is for what he's saying. He was either compromised or they threatened him. No, the other one is he was engaged in voter fraud. He was engaged in ballot stuffing in his little county, and he's afraid if they look, they'll realize that they were short the number of votes because the number of mail-in votes actually swamped them. That's as much an argument as anything he's bringing up, but it's never something he actually can even process.
It was 16 to 14. There's 16 Republicans. Let's look at these machines. I mean, for the people in Arizona have rose up and they have pressure. We want to know. We want to know. According to the stuff that I have, the evidence, it's over 200,000 votes were flipped in Maricopa County. 200,000. Okay, they're going to find that. One of the guys said,
"Yeah, the problem is they were flipped to Trump, and they don't want to know. They don't want you to find out."
Well, I don't want my friends to go to jail. Give me a break. Are you kidding me? You're sacrificing.
Right. They don't want their friends to go to jail because they flipped votes for Trump. They did everything they could, and he still lost.
Facing our country because you're worried about some crooks going to jail. So now it's going to go all the way up to...
Yes, pro-Trump crooks. You get where this is going, Mike?
I heard now it's going to...
Literally, they're like, dude, shh. Yes, you heard a window breaking. That was me.
Go all the way up to Doug Ducey. Well, Doug Ducey's been compromised somehow.
Clearly.
Ducey's a beauty. Okay, Mike, if we could please have you hold right there. We want to bring you over.
He likes the word beauty. That's one of Trump's words.
After the break. Just to summarize, in federal court in Washington, D.C., a massive lawsuit has been filed against Mike Lindell personally and MyPillow, the company. I think it's total of $1.3 billion. Mike Lindell.
It is.
Lindell will join us at the other side of the break. Raheem Kassam's done a bunch of quick analysis on the lawsuit itself. We're going to return in a second. Steve Cortez at the bottom of the hour. is going to join us about President Trump.
hold on.
Now, breaking news off of Axios and The Guardian. President Trump says, hey,
Bannon.
I'm gonna be
Plaintiffs versus by the fourth.
sorry.
unanswered.
And
we're about to find
I don't know what music they were playing in the bumpers, so I don't want
out
to get
in a federal court in Washington, D.C., where this morning, Dominion Voting Systems dropped a massive lawsuit, $1.3 billion, part of that against Mike Lindell
amazing.
personally, the other as against his company, MyPillow. Raheem Kassam, you've had a chance to do a quick and dirty here.
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
I did. My favorite thing to do on a Monday morning is to go through a 115-page court filing from Dominion Voting Systems, and that's what I did. Plaintiffs versus defendants, MyPillow Inc. and Michael J. Lindell. Now, the first thing that stood out at me from all of this is that by the fourth line of their complaint, they used the term "the big lie."
Yep.
Now, anybody would know off the bat that that is a left-wing talking point. The big lie is a
it's literally a reference to Hitler.
a partisan talking point that comes from Mein Kampf, by the way. It was first used by Adolf Hitler as a term by which to offend the Jews and put upon the Jews the troubles and travails of what he described as Germany's position, rightful place in the world.
It's basically a defined term or term of art for this entire lawsuit. They started off at the very beginning and used it throughout.
Yeah, that's right, and it's a term that is designed as a means of character assassination, as a means to demonize people. Now, they use the
nobody does that in a libel lawsuit pushing back on someone who's badmouthed them.
term
Calling something the big lie. All right.
the big lie no fewer than 31 times in this document. It struck me
That somebody's calling. Apparently it's it's Dominion. Excuse me, it's 37. I think 31 is the number of times that Eddie Rabbitt says the phrase "I love a rainy night" in the song "I Love a Rainy Night," if I'm not mistaken.
struck me as particularly interesting given the fact
Can somebody please pick up
that we heard so much about the big lie this weekend from CNN, and Brian Stelter went to great lengths to talk about, again, as you say, this term of art. That jumps off the page.
There are no coincidences.
Precisely.
Yeah, it's all coordinated, man. It's all like they're like this, the mainstream media, the lamestream media, and Dominion, but they're like that. It's not that it's obviously playing in the news and that phrase has made its way around, and that's the defining characteristic of the phrase.
Precisely. That jumps off the page. Then it's interesting that they want Washington, D.C. as jurisdiction. That immediately, as far as they would be
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
concerned, puts them on the front foot on all of this. A sympathetic judge in Washington, D.C. And it's actually interesting because when they make the
Yeah, because DC over the years hasn't been stuffed with Republicans in the judiciary.
case for the jurisdiction, you can kind of read between the lines, and they sort of saying, hey, DC's the right jurisdiction because Dominion's been to DC and Mike Lindell's been to DC. So it's kind of the
It covers a national election, and it was a nationwide thing dealing with the national election, and the seat of it is there.
fair jurisdiction. But what's really interesting about this, remember
It's totally really interesting.
I said a couple of weeks ago when Mike was on this program is I said what they're really interested in, what the left is really interested in. And
Dominion is the left, right?
I do count Dominion in there as well because they use
Sure, why not? Look at that. It's like we're having a real interview.
the terminology of the left. So let's hold them to their own words. What they're really interested in is the character assassination
So the left was against Hitler's big lie. So the right was supportive of it? Is that the argument this dude's making?
of Mike Lindell, because what they don't want Mike Lindell to become is this kind of super wealthy MAGA movement donor who's support.
That's what they're worried about, and not the fact that he's sullying their name and spending millions of dollars doing that and making it hard for them to sell their wares in other states based on this lie while making himself rich in the process.
Supporting all of these causes at the same time. So about 100 of these 115 pages are pure character assassination, and there's about 5 pages where they get into
Well, I mean, you'd have to say that his character refutes the charges therein to make it actual character assassination. It may be, strictly speaking, just like a qualified description of the man.
They get into the detail,
But
the MAC addresses and that kind of stuff.
And that people should know in the detail, though, they do go through absolute proof. They do go through his media appearances, and they cite each one and footnoted that.
Yeah, they don't just go, this is a big lie. Good, give us $1.3 billion, dude.
Wow. They say this is an opinion and assertion, not a fact, and that he has no evidence. And the only evidence that's out there is Mike Lindell's making a fortune going around because the rubes in the deplorables movement are buying more pillows than any. So,
right,
Mike,
but just very quickly, just to clear that up, when I talk about the getting into the detail, what I mean is the technical detail. There's very few pages on that. There's a lot of pages about, hey, Mike Lindell went on OAN, and hey, Mike Lindell. There's a lot on that. But again, that's designed as
that's how they phrase it. Hey, he went here. Hey.
Character assassination. And just so people are aware, at the end of this document, the prayer for relief is $1.3 billion, awarding Dominion compensatory damages of not less than $651 million and punitive damages of not less than $651 million.
So, Mike, let's go back to you. I mean, they have a whole litany of, what you do and how you support conservative causes and how you do this. They have but then they do go through.
Wait, does he support conservative causes? I don't think so. I think he lives to blow smoke up Trump's ass and thinks the sun shines out of it at the same time. I don't know what about this is conservative. Like, I don't know what's indicative of Christianity in his behavior, even though he wears the cross. You know what I mean? This is bumper sticker conservatism.
Go through. And it's not, it's a small portion of the soup, but they then go through and line out, and they essentially say, everything you've been putting forward, none of it's based in fact. It's all fantasy, and it's really a con to drive your business and make your business more profitable. So once again, what's your response?
Well, of course, what we can say for sure is the big lie is the big lie. The big lie is the big lie. Okay.
You guys got that? Everybody write that down. It'll be on the test.
Let's start there. But Dominion, you got to ask yourself this. So
okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to ask myself the big question. The big
is that
lie.
like a Zen koan? Is that like a Zen koan? Is the big lie is the big lie? What do you mean by that? The big lie is the big lie. The sound of one hand clapping, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. They're out there saying that they, promoting.
I'm enjoying the fact that Steve Bannon genuinely thinks Mike Lindell is full of shit.
This big lie when they're the big lie is the everything they're doing. It's like flipping good and evil is good.
Yeah, like you said that before. It's super weird, but yeah. By the way, thank you for the super chats, guys. I saw a couple went by before. Thank you guys very much.
What they're doing right now with everything. Everybody can see it. Dominion.
Can they now?
You got to ask yourself this. Okay, well, let's hop on down to Maricopa County and pop a machine out, and let's all take a look and have Dominion. I'll have my guys there and show you what they're capable of, what they did, and have them there. Let's all do it on national TV like you suggested, Steve. But what I say is...
Yeah, because no foreign country would want to be able to exploit the technology involved in all of these machines.
Dominion, I didn't need any more publicity, okay? Everybody knows who Mike Lindell and My Pillow are. I have fought for causes. I have fought for this great president when I met him in the summer.
See what I mean? It's not conservatism. This is about Trump.
I mean our real president since the summer of
See that? Our real president. 2016
when I first met him. I come from a lie. You can sit and send your lawsuit out and try and
you don't believe Joe Biden's the real president of the United States?
Absolutely not. How can you even say that when what I've seen and what's out
look, even Steve is like, dude.
Out there, Donald Trump got 80 million votes and he got less than 67 million. I mean, it's a shame. This isn't about Democrat, Republican. I've said it before.
87 million now.
This is about the biggest attack on our country in history. They're taking over everything, and everybody can see it.
Not that he didn't. Look, the debate that you've got about the legitimacy and the votes is one thing, but you do agree that at 12 noon on the on the 20th of January, he did take the oath of office. So whether you agree he is currently the commander, he's currently the commander in chief, the chief magistrate, and the head of the government, correct?
Well, I didn't see it, so I don't know if I didn't get to hear the fake news show me that on TV because I never watched 1 minute of it. I've heard rumors, Steve. I've heard rumors.
I think you can assume it happened, right? I was sanctioned by the Chinese Communist Party for it. You can assume it happened. But this is what I don't understand.
I think he's attempting to be cute, but he also might be insane.
And you've had the media, you've had all these venues to go to. You said you got guys, you got investigators all over the world, right?
Yep.
Why have you needed, you've wanted this, and today you're all happy. Why do you need a federal court? Why do you need a court when, quite frankly, the court system hasn't exactly been great for the Trump movement overall in trying to present this? Why is this different? Why is this going to be different? And you've basically sought this out.
Well, I guess, and I asked my attorneys on this about a month ago because I said, why don't we just sue Dominion? So they have to show these machines because all that nobody's looking at the evidence. All the federal judges, they say, we don't want to look at the evidence. The Supreme Court, we don't want to look at the evidence.
You can't just sue a company to look at their like I can't sue Twitter to see if other people's followers are real.
And my lawyer said, no, you need to get them to sue you. And I said, I didn't understand.
Really? That's your lawyer's advice.
Understand it at first, but now I get it. So now it's easier for us to show our evidence and to show what we have.
It's way better. I mean, it's like rope-a-dope. It's so it's amazing how, what I did was I lured them into suing me for $1.3 billion.
And it's also easier in disclosure to get what they have. So I can't, Steve, I'll tell you what, there is no way that Dominion will slow play this. They will slow play this and slow play it. Now my dare to Dominion is, can we start tomorrow? I'm ready. I have all my evidence. I don't need, you want discovery? Here, I'll give it to you. Here you go.
Dude, you don't even know if you have someone checking the IPs are real. He just asked you 3 minutes ago.
Now give me yours. Let's start.
No, Rudy's not his lawyer.
Tomorrow. We'll make it we'll put the trial right before on national TV every day. I'm ready. And I'm ready.
Mike, are you going to countersue these guys?
That I don't know. I have to ask the lawyers. I'm sure we will. I don't know why we won't. They said that my lawyers said we have to let them do first. I'm sure we will. But right now, you see
because you have no grounds to sue somebody just because you don't like how stuff turned out.
Focus right now is helping like Maricopa County. I'm going to put my efforts down there when we get off this show. Every single reporter that calls me, because now they're all calling, I'm going to go.
Are they?
Talk about Maricopa County, the news. You guys sit there and talk about Dominion attacking me when I came out with the absolute proof video or documentary. Where were they then? Where was the news media? Shameful media we have in the United States.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Not everybody would actually do the hard work of watching this ridiculous wad of wet toilet paper you passed off as a movie. I did. But it's a shame that other people, I did, but it's a shame that other people, I watched it, but it's a shame that other people didn't waste their time. I did, but it's a shame.
State, actually around the world. Shameful that they wouldn't come out for.
It's shameful that I had to sit through that piece of shit.
This story and say, Mike, your evidence is terrible. No, they went silent on me.
Mike, your evidence is terrible. Someone please send a clip of this to Mike Lindell. Mike, call your lawyers and have them beg Dominion for mercy. You're about to be in deep shit.
Now today, I'm going to drive everyone to Maricopa County in Arizona. Why don't you go down there and see why you can't look at a machine?
You can't look at a machine because the Republicans are blocking it because they did everything they could to help Trump win and they failed and they don't want people to find out that they actually padded the vote for Trump and still lost.
Get to a senator that flips. Some guy flips. Come on. We have a subpoena to go in there and look at these machines and show the American people what I've been saying is.
And the entire world what's in our voting machines. Because that's That's security. And then once you do show them the programming and like forensics audits of the entire machines, the machines are completely useless. And nobody's going to pay these companies to rebuild their software and machinery from scratch.
Is 100% proof. And this is shameful. So I'm gonna once again, I'm gonna use the media all day today to point them to where the need is. And my drive is, I'm actually doing my case right now. I can countersue them, I think, anytime. I just don't want it to distract from the low.
Yeah, that's what. Don't distract them. That's right. Don't distract from the $1.3 billion hit.
Hanging fruit right now. I can't let that be distractful.
I know you got
Distractful.
to get to work on this, but can you come back later maybe to see
He's been drinking 100% proof. I think that's 200% proof, right? Isn't it?
evening or tomorrow? We would like to go through the media name by name. You know,
Yeah. Bring them up. See which ones you've talked to.
these reporters that have chased you and now refuse to at least report on the case itself. In fact, if you look at CNN, it's baseless. There's no evidence. You know, Mike Lindell is just a crazy man.
Yeah, they didn't watch it. They had somebody at the network watch it on their behalf, a researcher. That some poor sap at every network has had to watch this piece of shit. That I guarantee.
So I just want to I just want to summarize your challenge to Dominion is that you're ready to go into court tomorrow and present your case, do discovery, whatever you got to do, but you're ready to roll tomorrow.
Absolutely, we're all prepared. I have everything prepared.
Are you?
I have everything prepared, except for that part where you asked me earlier if I actually had anybody in China that could verify the IP addresses that the people that I bought the information from have sold me. You know, that part I'm not sure about or whatever. I can always countersue the people who sold me the information, can't I? Yeah.
Are you basically saying that Dominion wants to do this to shut you up and they want to slow walk this for a couple of years so that Mike Lindell just goes away?
100%. That's what behind their motivation.
Totally.
100%. And I dare right now, I dare CNN, Fox, Newsmax, I dare any of you guys to have me on TV today to talk about Dominion. You wouldn't let me talk on before. How about bring me on like you did, Steve? I dare all these other stations to have me on today. And you know what? I will come.
Yeah, they all got sued too for this bullshit, and they all had to walk it back. And to have you on talking about it puts them in legal jeopardy.
On later today, Steve. And I'm going to list off every single person I have to call, and I'll tell you whether they watch
Yes, good idea. Show your phone to the screen.
it or not, and whether they answer my call.
Mike, we'll bounce. We got to bounce now. Good luck.
Yeah, love to keep talking to you, but this is...
I know you got a lot of work today. We'll see you today at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Mike Lindell.
All right, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, he's literally like, thanks, Steve. Okay, next press thing.